Kester, have you seen my antenna? You didn't take it from me again now, did you? No. Sure, I'd never do such a thing to you now.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scorpio Ascendant. Today I'll be talking about Gemini. Give this a like if you're curious, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. Enjoy!
Talk Radio.
Gemini is the third constellation within the zodiacal belt. It is represented by the twins. Gemini is the Latin word for twins. It is ruled by the planet Mercury, the messenger of God, the trickster, or the god of mischief. The ancient Greeks associated this planet with the swift messenger of the gods, Hermes. They also distinguished between Apollo and Hermes, the god of wind and sailing. Apollo, in its apparition as a morning star, low above the eastern horizon just before sunrise, the star on the right or starboard side. Hermes as an evening star, low above the western horizon just after sunset, the star on the left or the port side. Hermes, a precious youth, a mere 5 minutes after he was born, Hermes stole a herd of cows from his brother, the morning god Apollo, obscuring their trail by making the herd walk backward. When confronted by Apollo, Hermes denied the theft. The brothers were finally reconciled when Hermes gave Apollo his newly invented lyre and received from him in exchange the herald's staff, Caduceus. Despite his virtuous characteristics, Hermes was also a dangerous foe, a trickster, and a thief.
Kester, have you seen my antenna? You didn't take it from me again now, did you? No. Sure, I'd never do such a thing to you now. Sure, I wonder what happened to it then. I did hear on RTE that they did find one on the other side of the city, near the woods. Really? But that's miles away. Sure, how am I gonna get all the way over there? I don't know. But you better hurry up and go get it, before someone else takes it. You know how they are over there in the woods. Right, so I better get on with it then.
In Babylonian times, he was known as Nebu. Nebu became the scribe of the gods. It was his job to write down the laws to communicate them to common folk. To the Egyptians, he was known as messenger of the gods, Thoth. To the Romans, Mercury was a god of translators and interpreters. He was the most clever, he was the most persuasive of all the Olympian gods. He ruled over fertility, thievery, manual arts, eloquence, and is the protector of gymnasiums and stadiums. In his job as messenger, he carries the herald's staff that he tricked Apollo into giving him. The sun moves into Gemini on May 20th and resides there until June 20th. Gemini is a mutable air sign. All mutable signs end seasons. Gemini ends the spring season. All mutable signs are the last of their elemental group. They take whatever element they are in and expel those qualities out, releasing all of those characteristics out of their system. A cleansing process needed before starting a new season, expressing all knowledge and information that had been accumulated in the sign of Aquarius. All air signs are the signs that deal with the people in our lives, socializing, cooperating, communication, social clubs, societies, gatherings, conversations, information, dialogue, relatives, friendships, romances, affairs, connections, networking, knowledge, facts, and information, analytical, methodical, and rational thinking. All air signs represent the working of the left side of the brain. Their motto, I speak. So as a mutable air sign, it's Gemini's job to expel and release people, social connections, facts, knowledge, or expelling people out of their community. They decide what to write and say, sorting which information should be said and what should not be said, and how to say it. They also can decide who should be outcasted from their inner circle, especially if someone breaks the rules. Since they have the art of convincing and persuading down to a T, they can convince the rest of the community that someone or some people need to be exiled from that circle. Geminis represent their origins, their mother tongue, and cultural background, although they could do without the religious background because to them, beliefs and faith defy logic. And they're not often willing to accept things that defy logic. It just seems a bit silly, unless they can touch it with their hands or explain it with words. They're all about the truth, even if the truth seems pessimistic. Unexplained phenomena is a rare subject to hear from the lips of a Gemini, unless they have a lot of planets in water signs or fire signs. Since they are at the end of the air cycle, they do, however, admire the opposite air of fire, who rules the ego and self-identification. The mutable signs are letting go of the element that they are in and are looking to embrace the element that opposes them. In this case, Gemini is the air sign is trying to become more like a fire sign, self-confidence and self-expression, while slowly creeping away from the original air qualities of unity, peace, social conformity, and avoiding conflicts. Gemini is the most likely of the air signs to show anger and haste, the most restless and hyperactive of all the air signs. The ancient Greeks told a similar story to the one I spoke about Mercury. In this one, Castor and Pollux, the twins we see represented by the constellation Gemini, were the twin brothers of Leda, a mortal woman. Pollux was the son of Zeus, who seduced Leda, while Castor was the son of Leda's husband. This made Castor and Pollux half-siblings, Castor being immortal, like Leda and her husband, and Pollux being a demigod, his mortal half being from Leda and his godly half being from Zeus. This made Pollux immortal. In Chinese astronomy, the stars that correspond to Gemini are located in two areas, the white tiger of the west and left side, and the red bird of the east and the right side. In Chinese astrology, Gemini is represented as a tiger. In Native American astrology, it's depicted as a deer. Its opposite sign, Sagittarius, is represented as half man, half horse, a centaur, or a hunter. Or in Chinese astrology, Sagittarius is represented as a monkey. Or in Native American astrology as the owl. The name Pollux means bird, chicken, or fowl, making Pollux the twin that represents Sagittarius, the opposite sign of Gemini, and Castor, the mortal twin that represents Gemini, the tiger. Gemini rules the throat for communication, and the fingers, toes, hands, and arms, because they're so tactile. It rules the third house, the house of your mother tongue, native land, and your native culture and relatives, towns, cities, municipalities, and local regions. It rules neighborhoods, communities, unions, local government, textbooks, documentaries, non-fiction books, public speaking, sports leagues, fraternities, sororities, bands, clubs, the news and media, education, teaching, and learning. It rules childhood. It rules school-aged children, the ages between 6 and 12. It rules laughter. Because they're all about truth and honesty, they can sometimes lead a life a little less magical than others, with little hiccups and misfortunes here and there. And so they need to find people to entertain them and make them laugh, cheer them up, so we can see them sporadically laughing and giggling to themselves. It rules communication devices, persuasion, convincing, lawyers, prosecutors, police officers, local transportation. They are the jack of all trades. They can have multiple careers or jobs in their lives, even simultaneously. They love to juggle their tasks, keeping them from being bored. They hate being bored. They can multitask like no one else, texting in one hand while brushing their teeth in the other, and maybe playing the piano with their toes. They're an expert on everything. Well, at least they let everyone believe that they are. Many Geminis are left-handed, and some even ambidextrous. They have their hands in everything. They're fast learners because they're so curious and extremely intelligent. They're not easily lost. They're a whiz at catching on to both verbal and written directions, and are certainly capable of giving directions as well. They're someone who normally lives by the book, and they aren't someone who usually takes impractical risks. They are professional communicators. They will talk your ears off, especially when they are trying to persuade you or inform you on something. They are the trickster though, so be careful not to believe everything they tell you. They're crafty, tactile, intelligent, curious, nosy, and sometimes manipulators, especially if they have a secret rivalry. They can do some unsavory things behind the curtain. They could become thieves or con artists, using their intelligence and turning their persuasive speech into twisted truths. half-facts, or slander against someone they disapprove of. This could be as harmless as making fun of someone or using minor public humiliation, or it could be as scathing as wrongfully accusing someone enough to be executed or sent to prison or exiled. Sometimes these cons could take years, if not decades, for them to accomplish. So when a Gemini teases you, this could be just harmless fun for them, but done persistently, especially behind your back. You can be sure that what they're really saying is, you are not welcome in my inner circle. Remember, they are the breaking of relations. So either they will be a victim of being outcasted, abandoned, or exiled, or they will be the one doing the shunning or sending someone into exile. This is usually done at the 30 degree of Gemini mark in their lives. So at this time, there will be some sort of loss of a relationship in their life. They're usually very fascinated by foreign lands and culture at a young age, but mostly because they find it so odd and strange that it entertains them and makes them laugh. Changing their mind often and having quick changing attitudes will turn to a more restful and calmer attitude later in life, and they will go through a long period of being more domestic, focusing on the home or building their own family. When elderly, they will find their lively spirit again and be much more playful and enjoy many traditions and celebrations. Their children and grandchildren will put them on a pedestal, making them feel like the king or the queen of the family, as a much older matriarch or patriarch.
Oh, hiya, Costa. Have you seen Pollux? I've been trying to contact him all day. It's as if his device has been shut down. It's unlike him not to answer. He said he didn't like it here anymore, and he decided to move away. Oh no, are you having a laugh with me? He did say that he didn't really feel like he belonged, and that he didn't really fit in here. Aye, it's true. He is quite different from the rest of us, but that's why I like him. I'm really gonna miss him. It doesn't seem like he'll miss us. He just uprooted himself out of nowhere. To me, it seems kinda selfish, don't you think? I think you're right, pal. It is quite selfish of him. Who needs that guy? I'm quite upset with him now. I mean, what are we gonna do now for our trading system and telecommunity system? Don't worry about that. I'll pick up slack. I'll be the new leader of the trading system and the telecommunity. Temporarily, of course. I mean, until he decides to come back. Well, thank goodness for you.
Gemini is associated with fraticide. Fraticidium, from the words frater, brother, and the assimilated root of cater, to kill, to cut down, is the act of killing one's brother. Allusions to fraticide can be found in numerous fiction stories for thousands of years. Fraticide, as an archetype, has a precedent as old as human life, and its origins go back to religion and myths of creation. According to the myth of fraticide, sense of competition and jealousy among brothers are instigated by their father paying too much attention to one brother, or one of the brothers somehow gains a better position than the other. The New Testament scholar Dennis MacDonald identifies Castor and Pollux as models for James and his brother John, the sons of thunder, thunder being associated with Zeus, father of Pollux, James probably being depicted as Castor, and John being depicted as Pollux. Zeus is the name the Greeks gave to the planet Jupiter, which is the ruler of the constellation Sagittarius. Hundreds of modern-day fiction have the archetype of fraticide, from Shakespeare to fairy tales, songs and novels, television series and movies, and even sometimes in real life.
Gemini.
Taurus, Aries, and sometimes even Pisces can reach certain points in their lives where they can become very clever, talkative, persuasive, who suddenly go through a severed relationship. That being said, everyone's chart is different, and their progressions are different. Like a fingerprint, each person on this planet is unique, and you can tell how unique they are from their astrological charts. So if you're ever interested in diving deep into your life's journey and getting very specific details on why your life is the way it is, book a personal reading with me to find out. Not only will I show you what's happening, I can work with you on how to avoid or overcome certain obstacles, or help you heal some painful trauma in your life. And I'll speak plainly about it without using confusing astrological jargon or terms that are meaningless to you. Check out my website for more details and prices. It would give me great pleasure to help you, and I look forward to hearing from you and transforming you to greater heights. And that, my friends, is all about Gemini. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and perhaps share it with someone who you think might enjoy it. Did you find this information helpful? Do you understand Gemini a little better now? Let me know in the comments below. You can find other interesting astrology videos on my channel, and also you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching.